The visiting senior researcher of Amnesty International for South Asia, Mr. Abbas Faiz, remarked that, like his organization, the other human rights bodies of the world expect a free and fair trial of the war criminals in Bangladesh. But he urged the concerned authority to avoid political intention and violation of human rights during the trial procedure. Abbas Faiz came up with the view during an exclusive interview with Digonta Television. Kamruzaman Bablu's report.
Bangladesh emerged as an independent and sovereign state in 1971, following a 9-month bloody war. The war also witnessed the sacrifice of many lives, women's dignity. Some local people also allegedly assisted some Pakistani force members in committing those crimes. An international crimes tribunal formed to try those crimes 40 years after the independence. Several opposition leaders were detained under those allegations. Trial procedure also got a new start. World-renowned human rights watchdog Amnesty International opined, along with the opposition leaders, some ruling party leaders may be involved in such crimes.
I cannot be absolutely certain that only people who now belong to the opposition parties were involved in atrocities that took place in 1971. There could well be someone or more people who at that time may have been involved in criminal activity and who may now not be members of the opposition. They may even be members of the governing party.
He urged the concerned to hold a fair trial without any political motivation.
They have to be fair, impartial, and free from political pressure.
Any sort of irregularities in this regard may pave the way of human rights violation in a new way.
Not create a new category of human rights violation. And when does that happen? A new category of human rights violation will happen when
all the human rights bodies want justice from this trial, added Mr. Abbas Faiz.
Human rights violation.
Kamruzaman Bablu, Digonta Television, Dhaka.
Urged the concerned authority to avoid political intention and violation of human rights during the trial procedure. Abbas Faiz came up with the view during an exclusive interview with Digonta Television. Kamruzaman Bablu's report.
We have given an application, but the Chief Justice has rejected our appeal, not saying what has been mentioned in the application. Tajul Islam has deliberately committed the contempt of court today.
Allegations and counter-allegations has become the common scenario at the International Crimes Tribunal. Not only the fairness of the trial, question has also raised about the credibility of the judges.
If he continues to perform the judicial task, it will cast doubt on the fairness of the ongoing trial. It will also spark many controversy, as the court has already given a verdict against him.
In this backdrop, Amnesty International decides to monitor the trial procedure. The visiting researcher of the organization also revealed their stance.
We are considering very seriously to send an observer to the tribunal. I cannot tell you if that observer is going to be here all the time. That is not going to be practical for us now. We wanted to see how the procedures were developing, what was being done, how the defense was actually able to present their argument.
Keeping close contact with all the sides, Amnesty will continue its function, Mr. Abbas Faiz remarks.
We are monitoring the tribunal very closely. We are in touch with both sides. However, we under no circumstances can we accept that any aspect of the trial is unfair. because in that sense it will not be done justice to someone. It will sound like revenge.
He also stated that his organization desires fair, credible and worldwide accepted standard procedure in the war crimes trial.
And impartial.
Kamruzzaman Bablu, Digonto Television, Dhaka.
Kamruzzaman Bablu's report.
Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman first took the initiative to try the war criminals after the end of the Liberation War. Following long inquiry and hearing, 195 Pakistani soldiers have been finally identified as the war criminals. Later, these war criminals were awarded with amnesty through a tripartite similar pact signed among Bangladesh, India and Pakistan. After 4 decades, a special tribunal has been formed for the trial of war crimes. In line with this, top Jamaat and BNP leaders were detained as the suspects of war crimes. So far, according to the trial progress, charges have been framed against Maulana Dilwar Hussain Saidi only. Earlier, many of the accused were detained in the prison for 18 months prior to the beginning of the trial. In this backdrop, Amnesty International opines detaining the accused even before the beginning of the trial is a matter of question to any court bearing international standard.
I do believe that even the tribunal authorities have not been very comfortable with the length of time that it has taken to bring charges against the people. I hope that these shortcomings will be addressed very soon, and that the people who are accused before the tribunal, they receive a fair trial.
The senior researcher of Amnesty International also views tribunal can't be challenged. Such court is enough to worry.
There are some questions that need to be asked. For example, the fact that the accused cannot challenge the legitimacy of the tribunal is a concern for international human rights organizations.
However, Amnesty International hopes this court will continue their effort to hold a fair and impartial trial, warding off all the pressures. Kamruzzaman Bablu, Digonto Television, Dhaka.
No, I answer as if you're...
An independent tribunal is holding the trial of the crimes against humanity, but during the ongoing procedure, the ministers are making frequent comments about the trial and often fix the deadline to complete the trial. Human rights watchdog Amnesty International views that such prejudicial comments is not acceptable in any way. They also suggested the tribunal itself to take action in this regard. Kamruzzaman Bablu takes the interview of Abbas Faiz, senior researcher of Amnesty International.
2012 সাল হবে এই বছরটা হবে 71 এর ঘাতকদের বিচারের বছর লুটেরাদের বিচারের বছর
The year 2012 will be the year to try the war criminals of 1971. This will be the year of establishing rule of law. No one will be able to save the war criminals.
ঘাতকদের বিচার কাজ আমরা শেষ করতে চাই যে যত কথাই বলুক না কেন এদেরকে রক্ষা করার শক্তি কারো নেই
The ministers of the incumbent government are often making remarks about the war crimes trial. Such prejudicial comments before convicting a person may hamper the independent trial process, apprehends different quarters. Under the circumstance, Amnesty International thinks such remarks are not acceptable at all.
I think any political statement that can affect the outcome of the trial should be, first of all, avoided. You know, those ministers that you are talking about, they should not be making those statements.
Abbas Faiz urges the tribunal to take action against anyone for making such remarks.
It is the responsibility of the chairman of the tribunal to ensure that for a matter that is sub judice, no political statement is made outside the tribunal. If there are statements to be made, they have to be made by the authorities.
This senior researcher of the Amnesty International opines only the tribunal chairman or its spokesman or the registrar can speak about the trial procedure, not from the spokesman of a political party.
Thank you very much.
Kamruzzaman Bablu, Diganta Television, Dhaka.